There's a secret Napoleon Hill never fully wrote in his books. He hinted at it, wrapped it inside his lessons, and lived by it every single day, but he never said it directly. It's not in Think and Grow Rich. It's not in his interviews, yet it's the foundation behind every principle he ever taught. Napoleon Hill discovered something about human power that most people still overlook. The real strength of a person doesn't come from what they say, it comes from what they hold inside. It's not about loud confidence, it's about silent conviction. That's the hidden force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. You see, Hill studied hundreds of successful people. Every one of them shared one pattern. They had a secret world within themselves. A world of belief, discipline, and self-control that no one could see. They didn't chase validation or noise. They built strength from within. Hill realized that before you can command the world, you have to command your own mind. Before you can influence others, you must first influence your thoughts. This is the part he didn't preach loudly because he knew true power is never loud. It doesn't scream for attention. It grows in silence, and one day it speaks for itself through results. Most people want motivation that feels exciting. They want words that make them move. But Hill understood something deeper. Motivation fades when it's built on noise. Real change begins when you start mastering your inner voice. Think about it. Every time you choose to stay disciplined when no one's watching, you're practicing Hill's secret. Every time you work quietly, without needing to announce it, you're building invisible power. The world may not see it yet, but that's how every empire begins, in silence. So when Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, he wasn't talking about wishful thinking. He was talking about a mental state, the unspoken inner command that says, I will, no matter what. That's the true secret, not words, not noise, not external hype, but the inner decision that no one hears, yet changes everything. Napoleon Hill often said that every person fights two battles, one against the world and one against themselves. Most people only focus on the outer one, the bills, the failures, the critics, the competition. But Hill knew the real war is silent. It happens in the mind where no one else can see. That battle decides everything. It determines your focus, your discipline, and how far you'll go. The world can't defeat you until your own thoughts do. Hill discovered that long before his success, during years of rejection, confusion, and self-doubt. He wrote Think and Grow Rich after interviewing the most successful people of his time. Every one of them said the same thing in different words. You must conquer yourself before you conquer anything else. That truth burned itself into Hill's soul. Because here's what most people never understand: your mind is both your best friend and your worst enemy. It can build your future or destroy it. It can create opportunities or bury them. And unless you learn to control it, it will control you. Hill learned this the hard way. There were days he wanted to quit when poverty and failure surrounded him. But instead of blaming the world, he went inward. He asked, why am I thinking like this? What is my mind telling me that I'm believing? That's when he realized the key: you don't fix your life by changing your circumstances first. You fix your life by changing your dominant thoughts. The people who lose are not the weakest. They're the ones who surrender to their thoughts of fear and doubt. The people who win are not the smartest. They're the ones who stay strong when their mind screams stop. Hill called it mental discipline. He said that success begins when you can tell your emotions, you don't control me. It's a quiet kind of power. No one applauds you for it. There's no medal for fighting your inner war. But over time, that control becomes your armor, the unshakable calm that no failure can touch. This is the battle most people never fight because it's invisible. There's no noise, no recognition, no instant result. But that's exactly where greatness is born, in the silent victories of the mind. When you win that battle, everything else becomes easier. Fear loses its grip. doubt loses its voice, and suddenly life begins to follow the direction you choose, not the direction your emotions drag you. That's Hill's unspoken challenge to every one of us. Before you master the world, master your mind. Napoleon Hill used a phrase that confused many people at first: faith without proof. He wasn't talking about religion. He was describing a state of mind that successful people live in long before success ever arrives. He said, faith is the only known antidote to failure. What he meant was simple. Before your dream becomes real, you must believe in it so deeply that doubt has no room to breathe. You must act as if it's already yours, even when your bank account, your environment, and everyone around you says it's impossible. Most people wait for evidence before they believe. They wait for success to show up before they feel confident. Hill discovered that this thinking traps you, because if you only believe after something happens, you'll never take the kind of action that makes it happen. Faith without proof is the fuel that moves you when logic says stop. It's what keeps an inventor working after 1,000 failures. It's what keeps an entrepreneur going when no one believes in their idea. It's what turns an ordinary person into an unstoppable force. Hill saw this pattern in every great achiever he studied, from Thomas Edison to Henry Ford. They all lived by faith, not blind hope, but a deliberate decision to trust their vision before the world could see it. That's the kind of faith Hill wanted everyone to build, not faith in luck, but faith in their own mind. He used to say that the human mind is like a broadcasting station. Whatever frequency you send out, fear, doubt, or belief, the universe responds with matching results. If you broadcast fear, you attract obstacles. If you broadcast faith, you attract possibilities. That's why he warned people to guard their thoughts carefully, because the moment you start doubting, your subconscious listens. It adjusts your energy, your habits, your decisions, all to match your belief that it won't work. But when you believe deeply, your subconscious starts opening invisible doors. You begin to notice opportunities you would have ignored. You start attracting people and events that align with your vision. Faith without proof isn't just motivation. It's a mental law. It's how life mirrors back to you what you expect from it. Hill's message was that if you can hold a clear belief through chaos, through delay, through uncertainty, the result becomes inevitable. Every time you choose faith over fear, you strengthen that invisible muscle. Every time you act despite doubt, you rewire your mind to trust itself. That's how Hill built his empire of thought, not by waiting for proof, but by living as proof. So the question he would ask you now is simple. Do you believe in your dream enough to act as if it's already real? Because that's the moment the universe begins to move in your favor. Napoleon Hill believed that every great achievement begins with a definite major purpose. Not a vague wish, not a passing dream, but a clear, specific purpose that becomes the center of your life. He said, there is one quality which one must possess to win, and that is definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what one wants, and a burning desire to possess it. Think about it. Most people drift. They wake up, go to work, come home, repeat, but they have no clear direction. Hill called them drifters. They let circumstances, opinions, and fears control their path. But the few who decide exactly what they want and refuse to quit until they get it, those are the ones who shape history. A definite purpose gives your mind a target. It organizes your thoughts, focuses your energy, and aligns your habits. Without it, your mind scatters. You start one thing, get distracted by another, and never reach depth in anything. With it, you become a laser-sharp, powerful, unstoppable. Hill used to say that a person without a purpose is like a ship without a compass. It may float, but it will never reach a port. You can't control the wind, but with a clear purpose, you can always adjust your sails. He didn't mean just having goals. He meant building your life around something that matters enough to pull you through pain, rejection, and doubt. Your purpose should be strong enough that you'd chase it even if no one ever applauded you for it. When you have that kind of purpose, your mind changes. You stop wasting time. You stop caring about temporary opinions. You start filtering decisions through one question: does this move me closer to my purpose? And if it doesn't, you let it go. Hill's research showed that every self-made success had this one thing in common: clarity. They knew exactly what they wanted. Henry Ford wanted to build a car affordable to the average man. Edison wanted to light the world. Carnegie wanted to produce more steel than anyone else. They weren't guessing, they were deciding. The beauty of a definite purpose is that it gives you strength when everything else falls apart. When life tests you, your purpose becomes your reason to keep standing. It becomes your anchor in the storm. Hill believed that once you define your purpose and mix it with faith and persistence, the world starts reorganizing itself around your intention. You begin to notice ideas, people, and chances that match your goal. It's not magic, it's focus. The world gives more to those who know exactly what they want because they are clear enough to recognize it when it appears. So take this moment to ask yourself, what is your definite purpose? Not what you think you should do, not what others expect, but what your soul keeps whispering about when you're alone. That whisper is your compass. Follow it. Napoleon Hill called the subconscious mind the connecting link between your conscious thoughts and the infinite intelligence of the universe. He said it doesn't judge, it doesn't argue, it simply accepts whatever you repeatedly feed it. Every thought, every emotion, every word you allow to dominate your mind becomes a seed planted in this invisible garden. The problem is, most people plant weeds and wonder why their life looks like chaos. They fill their mind with fear, doubt, and failure. They repeat phrases like, "I can't," "I'm not ready," or "I'll never make it." The subconscious listens carefully and responds by shaping reality to match that belief. Hill understood this truth long before science proved it. Your subconscious literally programs your behavior, focus, and energy toward whatever it believes is true. But here's the key: you can reprogram it. Hill taught that by controlling your dominant thoughts and combining them with emotion and repetition, you can rewrite the blueprint of your mind. That's why affirmations work only when they're backed by real belief and emotion. You can't whisper, "I'm successful," once and expect transformation. You have to saturate your subconscious with the image of your success until it becomes your second nature. Hill's own technique was simple yet powerful. He told people to write down their definite purpose in life clearly, precisely, and read it aloud twice a day, once when you wake up and once before bed. He said this daily ritual connects your conscious desire with your subconscious power, slowly merging them into one unstoppable force. Think of your subconscious like a soil that never rests. It's always growing something, either the crops of faith or the weeds of fear. The choice is yours. Whatever you dwell on long enough becomes your reality, because your mind begins to act automatically in harmony with those thoughts. Here's the unspoken secret Hill wanted everyone to realize: your subconscious doesn't work in words, it works in emotion and imagination. If you visualize your goals vividly and feel them as if they've already happened, your subconscious starts aligning your habits, instincts, and even opportunities toward that vision. It's not luck, it's mental alignment. This is why fear is so dangerous. Hill said fear is the mind's enemy because it paralyzes belief and infects the subconscious with limitation. To rise above it, you must consciously feed your mind with courage, gratitude, and confidence until they dominate your mental landscape. When you reach that point, when your inner beliefs fully match your outer goals, something shifts. You begin acting differently, attracting differently, thinking differently. The world seems to respond faster. It's not that things suddenly become easier. It's that your inner world is no longer fighting your outer vision. Hill wrote, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But the secret part people ignore is the middle word, believe. Your subconscious is where belief lives. Master it, and the world will follow your command. Napoleon Hill's entire philosophy builds toward one powerful truth. Every achievement starts as a thought, but only those who learn to transmute that thought into action ever see it become real. Transmute means to change one form of energy into another to turn invisible mental power into visible results. Hill called this process the greatest secret known to man. You can think of your thoughts like raw electricity. On their own, they're invisible, formless, and untamed. But when directed with purpose, they can light up a city. That's what Hill meant by definite purpose. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all directed toward one clear goal, they begin to generate what he called a magnetic force, something that attracts the right people, opportunities, and ideas into your path. Most people never experience this power because they scatter their mental energy. One day they want success, the next they want comfort. One week they dream big, the next they settle. Hill taught that divided thought produces divided results. To transmute thought into reality, you must first decide what you truly want and then burn every bridge to distraction. Here's the formula Hill gave: desire plus faith plus action plus persistence equals transmutation. He wasn't being poetic, he was describing a real psychological process. When a burning desire is mixed with unwavering faith, your subconscious mind begins to translate that belief into physical action. You start making decisions that move you forward, even if you don't consciously understand why, and the more you persist, the stronger that invisible current becomes. Hill warned, though, that this process doesn't work without emotion. Emotion is the fuel of creation. Cold logic doesn't move, the subconscious passion does. He said you must feel your desire so deeply that it becomes part of your identity. That feeling, charged with faith, becomes the command your subconscious obeys. But transmutation isn't just mental, it's spiritual. Hill believed that there's an unseen intelligence, a universal mind that responds to the vibration of your thoughts. When your thoughts are focused, positive, and emotionally charged, you begin to operate on the same frequency as this intelligence. Ideas appear, coincidences happen, paths open that logic can't explain. This is the part of Hill's philosophy most people ignore because it sounds mystical. But those who have practiced it know it's real. When you train your mind to hold one burning desire, think about it constantly, act on it daily, and refuse to quit, the universe itself seems to bend to help you. Hill wrote, "When you are ready for a thing, it will make its appearance." That readiness is the result of mental transmutation, the moment when your inner vision is so strong that it begins to shape your outer world. In the end, this was Napoleon Hill's unspoken message. Your reality is not something you find, it's something you create. Every success story begins as an idea that someone refused to let die. They nurtured it, believed in it, and acted on it until the invisible became visible. So if you want to unlock your inner power, don't chase outcomes, build belief, strengthen desire, guard your thoughts, and remember your mind is not just a place where thoughts live, it's the factory where reality is built.